we found a clip where Kamala Harris told us what her views are of human nature and where she would take this country. Now, either she is a rabid Marxist scholar who embraces it, or she's a blithering idiot. But either way, as President of the United States, she would push this agenda because we know Joe Biden has through executive orders. When you keep talking about equity as the end game, equity is the end game, that's about dehumanizing the individual. This is what totalitarian regimes do. Equity, we got to get to the end game. Everybody's the same. That's the Khmer Rouge. That is Mao. That is sick. So I want you to listen to this. This is Kamala Harris explaining her totalitarian ideology, which is pure Marxism. Not from me, from her. Go.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution.
But we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing.
That's not what equality means. Not under our system. Equality means access to equal justice, to human rights, to a just rule of law. It doesn't mean everybody gets the same thing. Go ahead.
That often assumes everybody started out in the same place.
Nobody assumes everybody started out in the same place. We are individual human beings. How could everybody start out at the same place? We're a diverse nation with diverse backgrounds. Certain people work harder. People may be mentally or physically handicapped. Some people are born poor and get wealthy. Some people are born wealthy and get poor. That's the nature of a dynamic, vigorous society, where we, the individuals, rule over ourselves. Go.
As opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place.
So we all end up in the same... Does this sound like we're all going to end up in a gulag? What the hell does she mean? We're all going to end up in the same place. She's either completely moronic or a hardcore leftist ideologue, and I'm banking on both. Go ahead.
We are proud of the fact that equity is one of our guiding principles. Proud of the fact that we understand equality is important, but not everybody starts out on the same base. We see that people in our country are having an experience that is not equal. So when we talk about the work we are doing here together, it is recognizing that and being guided by this principle of what we must do in the spirit and in the interest of equity.
To put equity firmly at the center of our economic policy.
It goes on and on and on, because this is how she speaks. She gets in her head a couple of sentences, and it's not just this, it's other, and she regurgitates it. And it's just over and over and over again to the point of absolute and complete idiocy. She does not believe in capitalism. She does not believe in freedom. She does not believe in the Declaration and the Constitution. She views human nature as something that the government is to control. Central government will determine equity. We're all supposed to end up in the same place? We all end up in the same place? And let's say we don't. Then what are you going to do? What are you going to do? We've seen this play out throughout the world. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard her. That's a prescription for tyranny and totalitarianism, which leads to horrendous things. She doesn't even embrace the American experiment. She doesn't even know or rejects the founding of America, that it's based on individual liberty. Go ahead. Look at the Bill of Rights. Look at the Declaration of Independence. It's about individualism. It's not we all end up in the same place. No, we don't all end up in the same place. Some work harder than others, some are smarter than others, some develop things, some create things, some are great athletes, some are not. I mean, this is a dynamic, a vibrant society. We don't all end up in the same place, and that's not the government's job. My God, this woman wants to be president of the United States?